Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and thanks for joining me for another project in my Christmas in July series. I hope you've gotten some inspiration from some of the projects I've already shared. If you happen to miss those, I will put links in my description below for you. I'm really excited to share today's project with you. If you follow me, you know that every year I make an item with tea in it. And this year I wanted to do something different, something I've never done before. And I hope you love this as much as I do. Here is, let me zoom out. Here is my 12 days of tea, winter tea countdown with 12 assorted premium tea bags. I am so happy with the way this turned out, and I haven't seen anything like this made before. I think any tea lover would be happy to receive this for the holidays. Now, before we get started, let me mention a few things. And this is my prototype. I did make a few adjustments in the one we'll be making together, and I think it's made it so much better. If you're interested in learning how to make the sentiment that I used for the front of these, at the end of this video I will walk you through step by step how to create this for free on Avery.com. I'll also be discussing pricing and what I'll be charging for these at my craft fair. And so that's it. Let's get started. Alright, this is one of those projects where there is very little waste, which always makes me happy. I love when I can use all of a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, and you'll see how important that is when choosing a pattern cardstock. And that's part of a collection and you only have one piece of that pattern you want to use, and that works out great with several parts of this project. Alright, so first I'm going to go through each piece of the project and give you the dimensions, and that way you can refer back to this video and they'll all be in the beginning, and I'll also put them down below in the description. So I'm going to go through and tell you the size of each piece, and then we'll just get started putting together the project. Now this is one piece of navy cardstock. It's just Recollections from Michael's. It's 12 inches wide by 11 inches tall. And that 1 inch of this 12 by 12 that you'll be cutting off at the bottom will not go to waste. You're going to save that piece for later. So that's going to be the base of your folio. Now I went ahead and done all of these pockets just for time's sake, and so, but I will be doing one of them with you. So don't worry, I'll show you how to make those little pockets and exactly how I get these centered on this piece. Okay, so that's that one, 12 by 11, and save your scrap. Next I'm going to be using this sparkly cardstock, and it's 5 3/4 wide by 10 3/4 tall. Now I'm going in order in how these are going to be put together on this folio. Next, I used a foil piece of cardstock, and it's 5 1/4 wide by 10 1/4 tall. Next, I'm using this pattern cardstock. This is an Echo Park collection. I don't know what it is, but anyway, you can use any design you want, but this is the one I chose, and it's 5 inches wide by 10 inches tall. And you can see how this is coming together. It just stacks right on top of each other. Okay, so this sentiment that I created on Avery, it's approximately 4 by 4. And I'm going to show you how this is what it looks like when you print it. It printed 4 on a page. And so I had to, I wanted to leave that white edge around it because I liked it. And so I just had to do some guesswork in how to leave the right amount on all 4 sides. So you'll have to figure that one out for yourself, but it's approximately 4 by 4. Now the mat is a foil cardstock. It's the same as the one we already used. And the size of the mat is 4 1/4 wide by 4 1/4 tall. So that's going to fit right on there just like that. Okay, now as you can see, we're using the same piece for the back side. Of course, it's going to be a different measurement. And so thankfully there was enough in that 12 by 12 piece of paper for the back piece. And it's 5 3/4 wide by 10 3/4 tall. So that's the back. Now for the scraps, the scrap that you had left over from the base of this folio, it's already going to be, the height is already going to be about 1 inch. It's going to be 1 inch. And so all we're worried about is cutting it 5 inches wide, and that's going to go on the front. And then the back scrap is going to be 5 3/4 wide, because it's the width of this piece here. That's what that measures. 5 inches wide, and this is 5 3/4. Okay. So now for the pockets. I used 1 whole piece of patterned cardstock from my collection, and the pocket will measure 3 1/4 wide by 2 3/4 tall. And these pockets they're going to be scored on the sides and the bottom at 1/4 inch all the way around on the sides and the bottom. And then we'll put a notch in the top here. So we'll be doing all that together. But there are the measurements. And now let's get started putting this together. Oh, with this one, you're going to be able to use your whole 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock to make 12 pockets. And so that worked out really well. Okay. So all we're going to do is start gluing this together. And this is basically like one big card, like one big greeting card. Okay, so we're going to start with your glittery cardstock. And I don't typically like to use glue with cardstock because it makes it warp. But I think I'm going to use glue for this one. I'm going to grab a piece of white cardstock because I'm having trouble seeing, because my base is dark and my cutting mat is dark. So I need this white to give me a little bit of separation there. Okay, I just want to make sure that fit. Now this is going to be a little different than the one I showed you. On this one, I only, I scored it and just folded it like a card. This one is going to be scored twice so that you have that, what do you call it? It's like a gusset or just, I don't know what the spine is going to be. It's going to give you more room for your tea. And so that's one of the changes that I made between this one and the one we're making today. So on this one, I'm not going to be putting this gold washi tape, even though I really like the way it looked. I just think it's better this way. Alright, so just gonna get my art glitter glue out here and get started. Like I said, I typically don't like using glue with my cardstock projects, but I think it's going to be okay for this one because this cardstock is pretty thick and I think it's not going to work. So I'm trying to get that centered on there. I don't know if I'm doing a very good job. It's a little high, but that's okay. That's alright. So I'm only going to be making 4 of these because the box of tea I bought, well, you know what? I'm not really sure. I may change my mind and make more of these, but I didn't really. Next we're going to be using the foil cardstock. I didn't really want to make a lot of projects where it has items in it that go bad, and so if I don't sell them, then, you know, it just goes to waste. But I decided to make something that if I didn't sell them, I would be able to give as Christmas gifts. And so, I don't know, I haven't decided yet. I think I'm going to make 4 of these, and then, I don't know, I'll decide later if I'm going to make more. Okay, so next up we have our patterned paper. We're going to put on there. Just like that. Make sure it fits. Now, I made that red one and I wanted to make a blue one. And I haven't decided yet. I'll probably make another red one and another blue one, just to have some options. Uh-oh, I got glue on my foil cardstock. That's never good, because foil shows very easily. So hopefully I can get that wiped off. But this is something that my sister would really love to get for Christmas. And so I know her boyfriend, he likes tea too. And so I thought, well, if I don't sell these, I'll give them as gifts. Now, if I do sell them, I'm going to be mad because I know she would love to have this. So I'll probably end up making more, but I have to wait closer to the holidays to buy the tea, just to make sure it's good and fresh. So, alright, so you're just going to find your center point here and hopefully do a good job and get it centered. I don't know if this is the center or not. Hopefully it is. I should have probably measured it. But there's your scrap. Alright, so next I'm going to put my sentiment onto the mat, and then I'll glue it on like that. So, yeah, okay. I think I'm running out of glue here. So I'm just curious, how many of you are working on Christmas crafts in July? I know I'm really excited about it, but I do have to start early just because I do craft fairs, and if I don't start now, I won't have enough inventory for my craft fairs. So I know some people get real aggravated with seeing Christmas in July, but I understand. I mean, I don't forget about Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving, and I don't skip it. I just get started early for Christmas. Alright, I'm going to try to get this centered. It's hard to do it when I'm trying to videotape. Don't want to get it crooked. I love this. You will have to let me know if you like this project. I think that is so pretty. A lot of people don't like blue for Christmas, but I think this one is going to be good. I think people are going to like this one. I forgot to mention that I put this on my scoreboard, and I found the center point at 6 inches. And then I scored at the mark to the right and then the mark to the left of the center point. And so that's how I got this little spine here. I forgot to mention that. Alright, so let's put on the back. Just the back scrap. Make sure it fits. I'm always worried when I'm cutting these pieces for a tutorial if I'm going to get them right, but looks like I did it this time. It's a good day when that happens. I wonder if it'd be easier if I open this up. Yeah, I think that will be easier. Okay. I'm running out of glue in this little bottle, so I'm going to switch to my bigger bottle and hope that it isn't clogged, and it is. So there we go. I tell you, these glue bottles really get clogged easily. So, alright. I am just going to try to unclog my glue here. Sorry guys. Okay, I got it. You all have to let me know, do you think that tea lovers are going to really enjoy this gift for the holidays? I drink tea, but not this type of tea, but I just thought it would be so much fun to have a new tea each day to try, especially if you love tea. Alright, so now we've got our back scrub here. I'm going to get that put on, make sure it lines up, and I'm glad I have it open so I can line it up with the front piece there. Now I bought a number die set because I didn't have one to use for the countdown numbers on the inside of this, but you could very well use number stickers. I just didn't have any, and I thought it made more sense to just go ahead and get a die set so that I don't have to keep buying number stickers, and I could make them any color I want. But you know, when you buy number stickers at the store, you know, you have to buy the color that they made or that they offer. So anyway, all right, there's the front and the back. That was so easy, and I got this a little too far over. I'm a little aggravated about that, but it's because I opened it up, and it's okay. It's gonna be fine. Okay, so now for the pockets. I used my scallop circle punch, and I believe this is 1.5 inch, and I used that to make these little circles. And let's see. First, we're gonna do the pocket together, and then we'll glue that circle on. Okay, so I scored this pocket on the sides and the bottom, and now I'm just going to fold it and burnish it, and I'll be using score tape on this part. I find it just works really good with these pockets. Now before I tape it, I'm gonna go ahead and put a notch. I'm gonna use my little Dress My Craft notch maker here. We're going to put a notch in the top of the pocket. I love the way that looks. Makes the pocket look official. Okay, so what you want to do is miter your corners. And sure it fits. I'm not very good at mitering sometimes, but this isn't something that needs to last. It's kind of, you know, one of those gifts where it'll last through probably the time that they drink the tea, and then they'll throw it away. So, okay, that's better. So I'm going to be using, let me find my score tape here. This looks like 1/4 inch. And if you haven't made these gusseted pockets before, I like to put the score tape towards the outside edge, and that way it gives your pocket room to move. If that makes sense, I hope. I don't know. But if you put it closer to the inside, then your pocket can't really expand enough for you to put your tea bag in there. So I hope that was a helpful tip. I've learned a few things here and there just over the years with paper crafting, and sometimes I wonder if I should share a video on tips and tricks, things I've learned that might help others, but I'm not sure. Let me know if that's something you all would be interested in. Okay, so now I'm going to prepare my pocket, and I want to talk a little bit about how I placed these pockets on the inside of the folio. I'm not going to give specific measurements just because mine is not going to be just like yours as far as, you know, the exact measurements go. So I just fold that over and stuck it together. Let me go ahead and get this one on here, and then I'll talk to you a little bit about the placement of these pockets. So since I already have these lined up, I'm just eyeballing these. I'm not using any type of strategy or math. Just want to make sure they're lined up. Okay, so I'm going to get my little circle and my number here. And those are the numbers that I bought to cut out these, that's the die set I bought to cut out these numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this one on. I'm going to use some liquid glue for the set, for the number here. I loved the style of these numbers. I just thought it was perfect for a Christmas craft. And I'll link that. I got them from Amazon. I'll link them in the description box below for you, along with all of the other supplies that I used in this project. Okay, so the way that I lined up these pockets. What I did was, before I put this first one down, I put the T in the pocket, and so I could see how tall the T was going to be. And then I held it up and measured it like from the top, because you want it to be inside the folio. And so that's where I placed the first pocket. Okay, so then I came down and I did the same thing. I put the T inside the pocket, and then I came down to the bottom and I put the bottom one down, and that's where I placed it. And the same thing with the middle. I made sure to put the T in the pocket, and then I just kind of centered it between these two. So if you can get the top one and the bottom one on first, then the middle one is just self-explanatory. And so that's how I did that. As far as these go, I just kind of put it beside, made sure I had some clearance here between the spine and the base there, and just stuck those on. But I made sure to do that with the right side also, because sometimes, you know, your paper is not cut straight, and so I wanted to make sure the T didn't go above the folio. So next we're going to talk about T. Now I bought this assorted box of T by Twinings, and I just love this brand. I just think it's so high end, and so I wanted to have a different T for every day. This box I got from Amazon. Let me tell you real quick. It came with 44 tees, and they are assorted, as you can see. There are some in here that are holiday themed. So there's gingerbread, and then there's a winter one, peppermint cheer. And so I love that it had just like plain teas and holiday teas, and this was a really great box. And so this one came with 44 teas. It was $12.99, and I needed 48 in order to make the amount of folios that I want to make, but that's okay, because I'll just buy like a box of Twinings tea at Walmart, and just get a holiday style one. So that's what I did for the tea. So yeah, I'll just buy an extra box, and that way I'll have enough to make 4 of these. Now, there's a little bit of wiggling to get these in here, just a little bit. But do you all love this? I just love this tea folio. It took me about a week to get everything right. I think there's something going on that one. All the measurements and how I wanted it to look, and but I just think it's so much fun. I don't know if my shoppers will like these, but we are going to find out. There's some berry tea. I purposely made the pockets tall enough to hide the flavor, because I wanted each day to be a surprise. And so I made them tall enough to where you could just see the title or the name of the tea, but they couldn't tell which tea is going to be next. So I think that's so much fun. Okay. There's a white tea. There's so many different flavors in here. I just think it's fun. Alright, let's see. I want to try to space out the colors. There's a cold brew peach tea. Let's see, there's an English afternoon. And let's see, here's a chai tea. Let's see, what color would look good there? Let's do a lemon ginger. And see if there's another purple one. Here is a black currant breeze black tea. Okay. Now we've got our tea in there. And I just think this is so much fun. It just folds up just right. Now I did find a clear bag that was 7 by 12, and this actually measures 6 by 11, and so I thought this would be just right. And I haven't tried it out yet, but what I'll do is I'll display these outside of the package, and then when someone purchases this, I will put it inside the bag just to keep it safe, and they can decide if they want to, you know, give it as a gift in this bag or not. But before I do that, I love to use these little stickers, these handmade with love stickers, and that way whoever receives a gift, they know that it was handmade. And so I really like using these stickers, and these are so cute. I like to put it at the very bottom, right like that, and I just think that gives it a little special touch. So there is our 12 days of tea folio. Alright, so I promised you guys that I would show you how to make this sentiment on the front. Before I do, I wanted to go over pricing, if you're interested in that. I did the math, and with all of the supplies and the bag and the tea, it cost me $4.69 to make this. And so I'm thinking that I'm probably going to sell these for $10. I'm never quite sure until I get closer to my craft fairs. But let me know what you think about the price on that, and if you think it's too much or not enough. I love your all's I love your suggestions on pricing. Okay, so let me get my computer out, and I'm going to show you how I made this sentiment. Okay. Alright, so let me get you facing the computer. Okay, so what you want to do is go to avery.com, Avery, And move this ring light so there's not a glare there. Okay, so what you want to do is go to, so say you go to the website, and this is what you'll see. As you can see, I've already made mine, and you can save those under projects. Let me get, right here's projects right there. And you can see here are the ones that I made. Now this is template 94100. And so if you put in, if you go to the beginning here and go to templates, and you type in, let's see, where is it? Oh, here. Type in 94100. That'll take you to this 4x4 template. Okay. So you want to start designing. And I went over here to holidays and I chose Christmas. And I found a design that I liked. So as you can see, there are lots of options, really cute ones. But I really like the ones I chose. So you can see they have a green one, but I chose the red and the blue. So we're just going to choose the red one here. And we're going to choose Customize Design. Okay, so click on where the text is here. And we are going to type what we want it to say here after we delete that. Okay, so I want this to say, see, I've got mine here. See, I want this to say 12 days of tea. Then you hit enter, and then we're going to put in winter tea countdown, enter, and then 12 assorted premium tea bags. Now you're not going to be able to see this right now because it's out of the area and it's also in white. So what we want to do is use the cursor here. You want to click on that and drag it up until you can get it all on there. Uh-oh. Now it's going to give you a warning and tell you the safety lines are important. Just say got it. But what we want to do is change the size of the letters. So highlight all of what you put on there and start, it's at 18 right now, so let's try 16 and see if that'll fit. So just take your little bevel here and click on it and hold it down and move it up. And that didn't work. So you just want to work with it until you can get it inside of the area where you want it. So you see it's under that line, 12 days of tea, winter tea countdown, 12 assorted premium tea bags. Okay, so bags is down below. So we want to make this smaller. So it's at 16 right now. We'll go and make it 15, and that worked. Okay, so what we want to do is click on this bubble here and hold down and push it up, and now it's all on there. Did you see that? I hope you did. Okay, it's that simple. So what you want to do is go over here to review and print, and you can zoom in to see what it looks like up close. Let's see if we can do that. That looks good. And so what we want to do is save it. We're going to name it, I don't know, whatever you want to name it. 12 Days of Tea Red Label is what you could name that. But I'm just going to leave it as this because I've already named the one that I want to keep. So you hit save to your account. And then got it. And then you go over here to get PDF to print. Download PDF. As you can see, my downloads go down here. And when I click on that, open it up, and you've got 4 beautiful labels here ready to print. So I just go to print, and I did adjust the settings when I went to print in the advanced features. Just because I don't have a LaserJet, I don't have a laser printer, I have an inkjet printer. And so the colors on it isn't as vibrant as a laser printer. And so I adjusted it so that it would be photo quality. I don't know if you can tell the difference between these two, but this one wasn't as good. This one's a little better. But this one is like the photo option, and this one was just a regular print option. But you can't really tell on here the difference. But there is a difference, and so I wanted it to be a little brighter. And so I just adjusted the settings on my on the print feature there. So anyway, I hope you all found this helpful. I hope you love this project, and I hope you make it for family and friends and for your craft fairs if you do those. If you have any questions, please let me know, and thank you all so much for watching.